Very good morning, friends. I hope you're all safe as well as healthy. Well, in the previous video, if you recall, we started a discussion with reference to investments and when investments in a subsidiary, associate, or a joint arrangement results in a deferred tax liability. Today in this particular video, we're going to talk in terms of a DTA which arises on account of investments. That means if the carrying amount of the investments in these subsidiary, associate or joint arrangement is lesser as compared to the tax base of these investments, it would result in a DTA. Now, if you recall, we said earlier that as far as investments are concerned, there are certain special considerations given in para number 39 as far as a DTL on investment is concerned and para number 44 as far as a DTA is concerned. Now, in the previous video, we dealt with the concept of a DTL on investments where we, digged the concept what is given in para 39. Today, we're going to look at what para number 44 states when there is a DTA on investments. Let's find this out in detail. जो बच्चे CA इंटरमीडिएट की तैयारी कर रहे हैं नवंबर 22 या मई 23 के लिए, उनके लिए अनअकैडमी लेके आ रहा है CA इंटरमीडिएट के लिए मेगा कॉम्पैक्ट कंपटीशन। ये एक गेमिफाइड लाइव स्कॉलरशिप टेस्ट है जिसके अंदर आप लाइव टेस्ट देंगे। 60 मिनट्स के अंदर आपको 40 क्वेश्चंस आंसर करने हैं और इस लाइव टेस्ट के बेसिस पर आपकी रैंक्स आएंगी और इन रैंक्स के बेसिस पर आपको इसके अंदर स्कॉलरशिप मिलेंगी अप टू 70% ऑन दी सब्सक्रिप्शन। इन लाइव टेस्ट के अंदर क्वेश्चंस बनाए गए हैं। इट इज बीन क्यूरेटेड बाय द एजुकेटर्स और ये जो आपकी रैंक्स आएंगी ये ऑल इंडिया के बेसिस पर आएंगी। तो 10 जुलाई को 12 बजे आप ये लाइव टेस्ट दे सकते हैं। लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मिलेगा। यदि आप अनअकैडमी प्लेटफॉर्म पर नए हैं तो आप मेरा कोड इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं CAKB10 और आप इसके लिए एनरोल कर सकते हैं एब्सोल्युटली फ्री। तो गेम की गेम और स्कॉलरशिप की स्कॉलरशिप। तो भाई किस बात का इंतजार कर रहे हैं? 10 जुलाई 12 PM। लेट्स क्रैक इट। If you look at the para number 44, it says entity shall recognize a DTA for all deductible temporary differences arising from investment in subsidiary, branches, associate and interest in joint arrangements to the extent and only to the extent it is probable. Now, there is a very interesting concept which you can see in terms of para 39 and 44. Para number 39 was telling you that if you fulfill the two conditions, DTL is not created. And if you look at the concept in terms of para 44, it is telling you that if these two conditions are met, only then a DTA can be created. And I think I'd like to draw your attention, first of all, in terms of the clause number B, which says taxable profits will be available against which temporary differences can be utilized. Now, the clause number B is nothing but it is a concept of prudence which is required to be met even if it is not a case of investments. Every time you create a deferred tax asset, it is important to prove the prudence that the company is expecting future taxable income to arise. So I think the clause number B is something which is inherent in terms of recognizing a DTA. Now, let's have a look at what the clause number A says. The temporary differences will reverse. That means it's not a permanent difference. And I think that is very true because I think the spirit of the standard seems to be that differences which originate and reverse should be recognized. And if you're saying that they will originate but not reverse, then they're as good as a permanent differences and they should not be recognized. So which means the only assessment what a company would require is that the differences will reverse in the foreseeable future. If today there is a deductible differences, then we need to be certain that yes, the difference will reverse. So the two parameters which need to be evaluated. Now, unlike para number 39, we don't need to make a distinction in terms of investment in a subsidiary or investment in a associate or a joint arrangement because now the assessment is common. So whether you're looking in terms of investment in a subsidiary or an associate or a joint arrangement, in all the cases we can say, first of all, prove me that the differences are not permanent. So they will reverse in the foreseeable future. And secondly, you prove me the concept of prudence that future taxable income would arise. If you can do that, then I'm creating a DTA on all these kind of investments. So I think if you just club the information, what we've learned in para 39 and 44, we can put it like this. In terms of para number 39, we can say that in terms of para 39, if it is investment in a subsidiary, DTL depends. You need to prove in terms of a subsidy, if you're going to pay a dividend, go ahead, recognize a DTL. If no dividends, no sale, no DTL. For other investments, DTL is a yes. And in terms of a DTA, investment in a subsidiary, associate or a joint arrangement, the answer is yes, subject to prudence and subject to the fact that it's not going to be a permanent difference. Simple and straight. So this takes care of, you can say, the special considerations which are given for investments in subsidiary, associate and joint arrangements, the concept of para 39 and the concept of para 44. That's all in this particular video. Thank you for watching this and wait for some more interesting inputs coming on this standard. Bye-bye and take care.